Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. So I'm reading for Virgo energy today, and this set of readings is designed as a kind of wrapping up of the end of 2022 and kind of like opening the door to a fresh new start in 2023. So this idea of like out with the old, in with the new, what behaviors, what parts of yourself, what kind of thinking patterns and things like this are you going to leave behind because you know they don't work for you, and what are you going to embrace going forward? What are you going to open up to? I feel like Virgo is particularly good at doing this. I think with kind of the new year rolling around, kind of like Christmas time, a lot of people have a little bit of extra time off. Maybe not Virgos, to be fair, but it does tend to be a time of the year where we all have a little break. We all spend time with family, friends. We reevaluate, and it gives, especially Virgos ruled by Mercury, which is here in my own deck, it gives you a bit of thinking time, and it gives you a moment of pause to just kind of get your thoughts in order. And the reading starts with you feeling like you've done that. So again, I don't know kind of what point on the timeline you're on. You could be going through the reevaluation phase, but the way it's coming through to me is like Virgo is a man with a plan, is the way it's coming through. Now, I don't know if you're male or female. We've got a lot of Empress energy in here. I don't know, maybe non-binary. It's coming through with this kind of like James Bond energy. It's like you're coming through with this really suave energy. So again, it could be your own energy. It could be somebody that you're connected with who you've got a bit of a crush on. But either way, I'm really seeing it as you, just no matter what your gender is, feeling very, very prepared and very kind of it's like you've got your base sorted out so you can go with the flow more, is the way it's coming through. It's like you've got your safety net, you've got your plan B. I don't know, it could be that perhaps you've got your savings account up to a certain point, so you feel like you've no matter what life throws at you, you've got a little bit of a safety net, like a precaution, right? It's like if the worst case scenario happens, I'm prepared for it. It's something like that. So it's like you've reassessed your situation. It's coming through so Virgo, and I know a lot of Virgos. I kind of, I gravitate towards Virgos. Virgos gravitate towards me, and so I know Virgo energy quite well, and so it's really coming through with this energy of like if you feel like I feel like in the past, perhaps in 2022, especially towards the end of the year, perhaps as you got busier, you could have felt a little bit like life was out of control a little bit. You may have been a little bit scared, especially because a lot of people have been worrying about money with like electricity prices and things like this. So it could be that you felt a little bit out of control. You felt a little bit overly busy, perhaps, like you couldn't quite. It's coming through, right? You've got this Chariot card. You've got this Chariot card, and you've got, let me just show you kind of like the other two cards down here. Oh, Hermit card as well. Just your own card is underneath that. The Hermit card, that's your card in the tarot. So you've got this kind of energy of like Chariot and Thunder, right? So it's almost like life is moving really fast, or life is feeling like it's out of control. And maybe if you imagine you were riding a chariot, right, or you were riding a horse, it's kind of the horse gets too excited or gets spooked or something, and it's like almost like a stampede. It's like this feeling of like life stampeding, and yes, you should have hold of the reins, you should be in control of those horses, but it's like you had this feeling of like fighting to regain control. And perhaps feeling with this drifter energy, experiencing life as it comes, perhaps you felt very reactive and responsive rather than prepared. Again, Virgo is a sign all about being prepared, right? You're like the little Boy Scout of the zodiac. So it's like you may have felt that they're giving me. It feels like it's a mashup of two songs. That's why I paused. I thought at first it was that Red Hot Chili Peppers song, which is like "Love is a Roller Coaster" or something like that. Roller coaster of love. There we go. They gave it me. Thank you. So it wasn't that. It was like, is it Aerosmith? It's like, life is a roller coaster, living it up when I'm going down. It's Love in an Elevator. Okay, that's what's confused me. That was so weird the way that came in, because it was like it's familiar. Oh, and now my right ear's ringing really badly. Okay, so I'm getting the intuitive stuff. It's distracting. So I'm so sorry when that happens. Yeah, so they were giving me Love in an Elevator, but with the words life is a roller coaster. Life is a roller coaster. So I don't know if that is meaningful to you in some sort of way. Maybe somebody has been singing that song and they got the words wrong. And now they're giving me, oh my goodness, it's going to be one of those readings where I get all the intuitive messages. Now they're giving me, it makes me smile. It's Vance Joy, and it's, he says, it's a song where he says, you went and sang the world's wrong. No, you sang the words wrong. You sang the words wrong, but the lyrics, if you watch the music video, they have different lyrics to that line. So it's like somebody who sings a song, but they're getting the words wrong and it makes you smile, or somebody feels this way about you. Okay, I'm just going to pause and make a note of that and just kind of try and slow down the intuitive messages, and then I'll be back with you. Right, so yeah, I may have said, I don't know who said it for Love in an Elevator, but it's Aerosmith. Okay, so again, just what I was experiencing then with the intuitive messages, it was like this feeling of overwhelm. It was this feeling of like the information's coming in too fast for me to process it and do something about it. So I had to pause to kind of like catch up and take a breath and kind of come back into the reading. So again, you could be in situations where you feel like maybe things are happening very fast, you feel like you can't quite keep up mentally, or you know, you can't quite respond. So again, if you need to just, if you're in a situation like this and you need to just go and step out the room, maybe like go out the back, have a few breaths, right, breathe in the cold night air. I don't know why I'm saying cold night air, they're giving me like really specific scenarios in your reading. It's very strange, but it's like if you just need a moment, right, to just catch your breath and like regain your composure and go back in, like do that if you find yourself in those kind of situations. But again, it does feel like, especially with us going through the end of the year period where a lot of people have that time off, it's like now's your time to have that breath, now's your time to come up with the plans, now's your time to get organized. And then it's like when you do get organized, when you have those safety nets in place, you can go with the flow, you can loosen up a bit. So if anyone knows Virgo energy, again, I'm kind of getting like your Mars placement, like somebody could definitely have an earth sign Mars placement. It feels like this very prepared, like action and preparedness is very Mars earth. Yeah, it's like when you feel like life is out of control, Virgo energy tends to get very, very tense and a bit cranky, and irritable, anxious. So it's like when you get the safety net in place, whatever that means to you, right? It could be a financial safety net, it could just be like, I know what to do if this happens. When you feel prepared, it's like you can loosen up, you can relax, and you can enjoy yourself, right? You can then get into that drifter energy where you go with the flow, because you know that no matter what happens, you're going to be okay, and it's this reassurance energy. So if you haven't kind of done that for yourself, I would strongly encourage you go and do that. That is definitely something that I feel like is going to be helpful to you. But yeah, you're coming through with this kind of like James Bond energy of like, and I don't know if people are going to look at you and be like, wait, hang on, why is Virgo so chill? Like, why, like, what happened to Virgo? Why is Virgo like this? Because it's like, I'm getting this energy of you just kind of like oozing into the room and like looking gorgeous. Maybe you're going to like a New Year's Eve event or something, but you swaying, you sashay in with your martini, and you're like, hello, you know, like working the room. And it's like, because you're relaxed, you can do that, because again, you're ruled by Mercury, same as Gemini. And again, I always say this, it's like people don't see the similarities between Gemini and Virgo, but you know, all those qualities that Gemini have of like really good social skills, knowing how to talk to people, you have that. It's just you have to be in the right mood to do it, and when you are in the right mood to do it, very, very successful. Absolutely, Virgos are so charming when they want to be, especially if you're close to Libra, because I don't know if somebody's on the cusp, you've got all this kind of Venusian Libran energy over here, so maybe embracing that if you are a cusper. So let me just go back to my notes. It's funny as well, you've got a song called M by Anil, Emre, Daldal. I don't know, I'm not overly familiar with the singer, but it made me laugh. M, right? It's just literally the letter M, and I'm getting this James Bond energy. And you know, he has like, I don't know, Q, and you know, all the different people, they all have like an initial. So I don't know if you refer to someone as M, maybe somebody refers to you as M, it's like an abbreviation. But yeah, it's making me think of like I don't know, like James Bond, I don't know, yeah, maybe going to a casino, maybe for New Year's Eve, something like that. But yeah, really feeling calm and confident. When I closed my eyes and tried to get images for your energy, I was really seeing like what appeared to be like it was like little lights in darkness. So like twinkly, like twinkle twinkle little star, right? It's like the twinkly stars, or maybe fireworks, or like almost like a diamond like quality to it. So I don't know what that could be. But what's really interesting is then I pulled my cards from my own deck, and it's very, very Virgo. So you've literally got this word space, which is kind of what I was seeing. It's like this night sky with twinkles. And then the night, which I'm reading as the night, like the night sky, but it's really coming through this energy with the Guardian. It's protective. So it's you when you want to protect those that you love, you being kind of the hero in the situation who knows what to do. The Knight is like the action taker. So it feels like, again, you taking action to protect. Space is just coming through that imagery of like the night sky. And then Mercury, of course, is the planet that you're ruled by. I will get to the cards, guys. So thank you for bearing with me as I kind of get through the intuitive process, which again, you've got quite a lot of this today. Yeah, there could definitely be, you've got the Two of Cups here. I do feel like there's a someone in your reading. Again, it could be a friend. For some of you, this is somebody that you're attracted to, or they are attracted to you. If you're a man, I feel like you could be meeting your Empress. If you, or if you're interested in an Empress, you could be meeting your Empress, right? Not to kind of say who can and cannot date empresses, but it could also be you unveiling your inner empress as well, which is really, really beautiful. But yeah, there does seem to be this it's like the Empress and James Bond kind of thing going on in your reading. All right. Gosh, I just feel like I need to take a breath myself. It's funny as well, you have the song Silence by Leyla Blue. It's like you just need a moment's silence or something like this. So you have got a little bit of trickster energy in your reading. I feel like there's more to someone than meets the eye, is the way it's coming through, which I will get into when I get into the cards. But in the underlying, what I noticed was, let me just get some more of your underlying cards so I can show you what I'm seeing. With the Chariot card, the Chariot card has two horses, a white horse and a black horse, and they're kind of pulling in different directions. It's kind of like a yin yang, right? Divine feminine, divine masculine, wanting to move in different parts of yourself, different sides of yourself, wanting to move in different directions. Or it could be a situational thing for you where some people want to do this, some people want to do that, and you seem to be in charge of kind of like harnessing this, reining this energy back in, getting things in order, smoothing. I'm hearing smoothing things over. So again, it could be people have fallen out or something. You're trying to get everybody back on track, something like this. But there's something about this white horse, black horse business. Specifically, the white horse is coming through. Now, the white horse is talking about this character who, I want to say, again, it could be you, your inner empress, or it could be a female figure that you're not necessarily female, but it's coming through as very Venus energy, which is feminine. That you could be connected to, and it has something to do with purity and innocence and if I describe it as I've been watching Handmaid's Tale with my daughter, who is an 18 and she's 14, but she's very mature, and she can handle, like, you know, as a parent, you know what your children can and can't handle. Like, I would never dream of like, I don't know, you know what's appropriate for your own child, basically. And it's given us this opportunity to have a lot of really important conversations about things that happen in the world, about things that happen to women in the world, about a brilliant thing about the opening series is it has all these juxtapositions of basically sex scenes, and it gives me the opportunity to talk about what is healthy and what isn't healthy, and why it's healthy and why it's not healthy. You know, I think it's important for her to, at the age when, you know, at 14, historically, this is the age that women get married and have children in a lot of cultures. So she's to have her understand what the world can be like, but also what the world is like and what the world isn't like for her, and all these kind of difficult conversations, which I think is important to have as a mother if you've got a child. So one of the things I was talking about was how the commander, right, Commander Waterford, how he treats his wife, and he sees her as at least in the early episodes, he has this idea of her as being kind of very pure and very kind of pious. And so a lot of the things that people want to do in relationships, what comes kind of naturally when you have urges, you know, he doesn't want her to do those things with him because he sees that as something that, like, you know, corrupt girls do, and his wife is pure. So it has something like that to this, about something about this figure that's appearing in your reading. Again, it could be you, right? And what it is to carry that kind of divine feminine pure energy, and it's got this whole, like, I don't know, we'll get into it, but just to kind of say, this chariot horse, this white horse here, you do have the unicorn and purity as well on the underlying, and you have this unicorn here as well, the white cow, the white owls, yeah, the white raven spirit. It's almost like this idea of, like, divinity working through someone, like divinity coming from your connection to the divine, coming from your inner soul, right? It's like it comes from within, like the purity comes from within, something like that. But then there's this strange imagery of, like, the devil coming through here, and, like, look at all this, I don't know, it's just something about the imagery of this reading. Do you see where it's like it's a rabbit, and the rabbit is a symbol of the Empress, and yeah, it's this strange like hybrid creature. So I don't know if there is somebody in your life who's like this, and you're trying to get them to like reveal what's going on inside them, or maybe somebody's doing this to you. It's like they're trying to get you to, it's got this feeling of, like, meeting somebody and wanting to, like, look inside their soul and see if their soul's pure, or are they the devil in disguise, right? Something like that. And again, with the chariot having the two energies, there's some kind of contrast at play here, I want to say. It's I don't know, maybe it'll reveal itself more as I start to discuss the cards. Anyway, again, it seems, I don't know if this is something that you're kind of puzzling over, like what does it mean for somebody to be an empress? Like, how can they be, maybe it's something to do with your own mother as well, right? It's like, how can they be a symbol of purity and divinity and piousness, but also be in this position of power and authority? It's like the two concepts don't meet, because if you think about a woman, right, a female who is pure, like, and sweet and innocent and pious, they probably don't have a huge amount of authority. So it's like the two, it's like almost being like childlike, right, and naive and innocent, and then the Empress energy, which is kind of the more mature. But when you're more mature and experienced, you know, some of that innocence is lost. So does that make any sense? It seems to be this puzzle. But you start with this embrace the in-between, right? And again, I'm not trying to be, like, super feminist or anything in my readings. I know that some people kind of feel a little bit like, I think most of us are naturally quite feminist. Like, I think feminism really is just respecting each other, right? It's not about anything beyond treating people like human beings, really, if you get down to it. But you know, it is a label, and it can be applied differently, and people have different concepts about what that means, and I think if we get rid of the label and just really have a face-to-face discussion, most of us can be like, yeah, like, let's just treat each other with respect, and, you know, listen to what each other need, you know, just being a basic decent human being. But I know sometimes people feel a little bit like, you know, it can be forced down the throat a little bit, and that can be quite off-putting. If, for example, like, I'm not a man, right? I don't identify as male, but I can imagine that if I was a nice man and people are constantly telling me that men are predatory and things like that, I can imagine that I would be like, well, I'm not like that. And I imagine that it would feel quite like an attack and an accusation that wasn't true. So maybe that's something, maybe there's something about just understanding each other and being compassionate and trying to understand things from different perspectives and not always attacking each other. Again, that's very Empress energy, to be very open and very compassionate and very understanding of all different opinions and beliefs, and to have discussions to open people up further rather than to shoot people down and close them down and tell people they're wrong so that they can feel more pious. Maybe there's something like that going on. I don't know. Okay, focus. Again, I'm just getting... Your reading is very, very active. I'm getting a huge amount of stuff coming in intuitively, so I'm kind of going off to one side a little bit here and there. I'm going to try and get myself back on the rails, right? Embrace the in-between, this flamingo spirit. So there's something about the colour pink as well, like this idea of... I believe that the flamingos are pink because of their diet. So it's like, I don't think it is shrimp. I think that's like a false belief, but it's like something to do with the algae in the water or something like that. Something to do with the diet that turns them pink. So I want to say there's something about what you have been fed, right? What you have been fed in terms of... I don't know, representation of the feminine in films, representation of what it means to be a good woman in TV shows, right? You know, having the... You normally do have a foil, so you have the heroic character, right? The one that we're meant to side with, and then you have the anti-hero or the villain who we're meant to kind of be like, boo, hiss to. And I know recently in modern culture we've had a lot of stuff about, you know, the Disney villains and telling their side of the story and having compassion for them and things like this. So there's something to do with an awareness of what you've... I feel like this is kind of coming from Leo's reading a little bit. They had a little bit of this. So through your life experience, and it doesn't matter what your own gender is, right? Whether you identify as female, whether you identify as male, but throughout your life and throughout your experiences and the things that you've been exposed to, your own parents, right, your own relationships, your own friends, representations in the media, you'll have been told certain stories over and over and over again, and this will have conditioned you or fed you to create certain archetypes of what it means to be female in your mind, and male as well, right? James Bond is an archetype. So I feel like your archetypes of feminine energy, what the Empress means, what it means to be a mother, what it means to be a wife, you know, that could be changing, and I feel like it's changing at its core, and I feel like it's changing at its in regards to what it means to be virtuous. So you're asked to embrace this feeling of not being sure, right, of your own attitude changing from within, right? Embrace that. Be open, right? Be open to receive. Like, this is a good thing. And that's not saying that you've been bad before or there's anything wrong with it before. It's just something's changing, right? There's something going on where you are reevaluating something. Now you then go into this card, Feast of Plenty, Choices and Their Consequences. I do feel like with Embrace the In-Between as well, and the Staff card, I feel like you could be stepping up into a more authoritative energy. So maybe you're doing something in work where you're stepping into more of a leadership position, or maybe you're doing something where you feel like, with the Chariot card in the underline, you feel like you're kind of getting a grip on your own life. It's almost like you're putting your own cart back on the rails, right? It's like you are taking control of this situation. You're that authority within you is rising, and you are you're prepared to make decisions. And I do feel like the decisions could affect others with it being the staff. But you're aware that when you make those decisions, there are going to be consequences, right? So it could be, but again, it's just being in authority, right? Being in a position of, I need to feel like I'm in control of my own life. I need to feel like I can make decisions that are going to have a positive effect on my future. So sometimes those decisions can be difficult because you can see the good and bad in each decision. For example, it could be that you're choosing to invest money or something, or buy something expensive, or get into a relationship. And so you have this feeling of, okay, before I commit to this, I want to be aware that my choices will have consequences, and I want to be prepared for that. So again, it could be perhaps you're I don't know, moving home, and it's going to upset some members of the family. You're like, I know that this is going to upset some of my members of my family. I know that some of them aren't going to understand this decision. Yeah, I know that that's right for me to move house, right? I know that this is something that I need to do. I'm going to kind of minimize the drama by, I don't know, having a conversation with somebody in advance, having private conversations with people, or having a group family meeting, or like, it's like you're negotiating the consequences. It's like you can't avoid, no matter what you choose, there's going to be consequences. So being prepared for that and kind of like anticipating it and minimizing the risk seems to be something that you're doing. I was kind of getting the Tower in reverse quite a lot yesterday. Again, and it does feel like you are, it's got this feeling, especially with the Seven of Earth there, the Seven of Fire and the Ace of Earth, something about standing your ground, or digging your heels in, or being firm about your position, or finding solid ground. If you've got this firm energy, right? It's almost like, this looks like a drill to me sometimes. So it's like almost like drilling in your position. And then the imagery here as well with this, like, do you see the staff here with like this here? So this is the Ace of Wands. So there is something that you're very passionate about. There is something that you're very, again, I'm getting that Mars energy. You're determined with this. Before I move on to that card a little bit more, I just want to talk about the King of Pentacles being here. I am seeing this as you, and again, I just kind of want to remove gender from this reading for a second, because I'm really seeing it, even though it's the King of Pentacles, I'm really seeing it as this Empress energy. And Empress energy doesn't necessarily have to be a female. It can be talking about the way you lead, right? With the Staff card, like not leading in a way that's like the Emperor. So he's more decisive, he's more more of a boss, right? More of a typical like boss figure. It's like, this is my decision, everybody come on. The Empress is more like, these are the options, what do you think of this, right? It's more of a open conversation type energy. Both lead perfectly well, it's just a different style of leadership. So yeah, I'm seeing something about, I'm seeing the King of Pentacles and the Empress as the same character, and it is something about this white animal, right? It's like, it's coming through with, I think in places like India, I think, is it Hindu culture, cows are very, very sacred. So I am associating this sacred cow with, sorry, I'm not calling anyone a cow, with the Empress energy, right? It's like something that's honored, something that is connected to the divine, something that is perhaps in a very privileged position, because it's respected. So again, it could be you, it could be somebody around you. It's like, this is a respected person. With the King of Pentacles as well, this could be somebody with a certain amount of power or authority. It could be a boss figure, again, somebody in a position of leadership. It could just be somebody who's very good at running the house and home. They're very skilled, they're very grounded, are very stable, but it's really carrying that Empress energy for me today. And then with the Medicine Wheel, it's talking about all your life experiences, everything that's made you who you are, all the skills that you've picked up, all the wisdom that you've picked up, all being contained within you. It's like you are divine, right? You are sacred. You are this I'm sorry, I don't mean to be disrespectful to any cultures or belief systems, by the way. I'm just trying to understand the message that's coming through, because the medicine wheel is like, is your own inner compass, right? It's your own inner guidance system based on all the different experiences that you've had. So, I mean, maybe something to do with medicine. You are a sign that's associated with medicine. But yeah, it's... And then one of the things inside you is this coiled snake, which is almost this kundalini energy, right? Which I'm going to kind of come back to. There's this, like, there's this shedding and growing energy that seems to be happening from within. So there's something going on here. I mean, yes, you're absolutely standing your ground, right? You are very, very firm. If this is you, it could be somebody around you, so do switch it and reverse it if needs be. You've got this feeling of like making a decision and sticking to it, right? No matter what the consequences. Just because I'm seeing this as, you know, they're both on this rock. And then the Seven of Fire is the Seven of Wands, which is about maintaining your position, right? Standing your ground, getting the high ground, Anakin. And yeah, and it's with the Ace of Earth and the Ace of Wands, there is something, I want to say, that's like a new investment for you, and you're very excited about it, you're very passionate about it, you're very sure about it. You know, you are willing to, I don't know if you're taking a bit of a risk or taking a bit of a gamble, but it seems to be an educated risk, right? It seems to be a risk where you understand the odds, right? Maybe the odds of getting like Star Wars and different references, right? Maybe the odds ever be in your favor, whatever it is. I'm messing up the quotes. And yeah, so it's, and you're gonna do this. It's like, you are gonna do this. You've got this kind of almost Taurian stubborn energy to you here. It could be that you're getting some kind of offer, maybe some kind of job offer with the Ace of Pentacles. Could have a lot of creative ideas about whatever this is, but you do seem to be you do seem to have made up your mind. And I think you've maybe had a period of not being sure, but you do seem to have, yeah, you've got this standing your ground energy. I don't know if you've got a bit of a standoff energy. Again, maybe it could be negotiating a pay rise, so you've got this kind of like standstill energy for a while. I don't know, because you do have to know your worth as well. Okay, so there's something going on here about, I don't know what this is. Like, can you see this circle here? And then going into the Wheel of Fortune. Again, it's like, it's almost like spinning the roulette wheel or something. You've got this kind of casino gamble energy. But again, it's like you're not risking anything that you're not prepared to lose here, right? You're not betting the house and the car, right? You're betting, you know, the house and the car is secured, and the gamble is, you know, the extra money that you've got on the side. Something like that. It's like you're not, you know, you're not like, what's that phrase? You're not throwing the baby out with the bathwater or something like that. It's like you're, it's a strategic gamble where you've prepared for the worst possible outcome, right? So it's not really, yeah, I don't know. Does that make any sense? I don't know. But there's something just symbolically with these, it's almost like it's almost like putting on it's here as well, you see, like with the, it's like this is the light, and you play, maybe it's like playing with light and shadow just with this here. I don't know, it's like maybe like it's like shadows, like finger puppet shadows. I don't know what you call that. You know, when you get a torch and you do like something with your hands and it looks like a rabbit or a wolf or something. I don't know if there's something like that you've been doing, but again, it's like playing with the light. You're doing something that's like a trick of the light, or excuse me, it's making me think of Leo's reading yesterday, which was like playing with light and shadow in a way where you were well, Leo was kind of disguising themselves. So I don't know if you're doing something where you're trying to draw something out from someone. So again, it's either someone's doing this to you, or you're doing this to someone, because there's this energy of like the fly in the trap, right? You've got this like web energy, jeweled web. So it's like catching, hang on, there's something else coming through. So do you remember at the start of the reading I was talking about seeing the stars in the sky, like the lights in the dark? So you seem to be doing something where you're trying to, it's like you're trying to catch these lights. So if you imagine that you could put up a big web in the sky and these lights are gonna get caught in your web. So you see here, there's like these little fireflies flying around it. And then it's like here, these cards, it's like catching the lights in the web, right? And then here and here, it's like now that the lights have been caught in the web, it's like you can create shapes with it. Do you know, maybe it's just sometimes they give me things in such a funny way, but maybe it's just something to do with like Christmas lights, you know, like fairy lights, you know, like spelling something out with fairy lights or something like that. It's got something like that to it. But yeah, there's this thing about being caught, right? So this Empress being caught in the web is causing them to reveal themselves. It's like the thing within is coming up and out is the way it's coming through. So again, just to kind of show you that this Empress seems to be carrying this trickster energy. And I'm not saying that the Empress is the devil. I see devil energy as being something that we all carry inside ourselves, right? We all have light and shadow within us. So, you know, we are all representations of God on the earth. God is omnipresent, so everything is God. But likewise, like, we're all made of the light and the shadow. So it seems to be this thing where you're almost trying to get this, it's coming through as like trying to get, look at all the lilies as well, symbolically. It's like you're trying to get, it's like this is what this person looks like on the surface, right? This unicorn purity, or they carry this energy. It's like they are the white horse, but you seem to think that, I don't know if there's just general mistrust. It's like you know that there's something else inside there, right? You know that there's, I don't know, it's kind of flipped now. Maybe someone feels this way about you. It's like, I don't know if somebody sees you as too good to be true, or somebody sees you as maybe a bit overly pious, right? And it's like, well, where's their devil? Everybody has a devil, so where's their devil? But in like, maybe again, someone could be saying this to you. Funnily enough, underneath, like again, under the underline, you've got like dust devil as well, moving out of stagnation. But again, with this idea of like trapping them, or this person trapping you, right, in the web. Maybe it's something to do with like online stuff. In trapping this person, I don't know, or if this person's trapping you, I don't know if they expect you to, because you're the King of Pentacles, right? It's like, I don't know if they expect you to, it's like they unmask you and you're suddenly like, haha, and I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you pesky kids. It's like, instead of being revealed to be the bad guy, you actually become even better than you were before. It's like you emerge even more powerful, because perhaps you've always been fully aware of your shadow, and you've just integrated it so fully that, like, in this moment where this person forces you to reveal your true nature, it's like you're even better than what you were perceived to be. You know, it's something like being good under pressure. Or again, it could be something to do with your preparedness. It's like you prepared for, I don't know, maybe somebody to call you out, or maybe somebody to, I've had this experience myself a long, long time ago. And I kind of won't go into the details, but it was online, and there was somebody who, they were kind of gaslighty. They were kind of like, they had this persona of being very generous and kind of winning people's loyalty with gifts, and but they would also sometimes think that they had free reign and free license to act however they wanted to act, and they'd act atrociously. And a lot of people wouldn't say anything, because when people did say something, they would throw it back into the face. You know, you accepted that gift, you know, and but I watched them doing this and I anticipated it. So when I called them out on something and they did it to me, you know, this kind of like almost like making me look, I don't know what they were trying to do really. It was a long time ago, and I called them out on it, and I said, I just matter of factly said, this is exactly what you're doing. It's a repeated pattern of behavior, and you know, just because you gave somebody a gift doesn't give you the free reign to do whatever you want. And you know, I didn't ask for that gift, you know, and all this kind of stuff. Like, yeah, yes, I was thankful for it, because, you know, you did something that seemed very generous on the surface, but actually it was manipulative. And I just literally just said exactly the situation as it was, and it threw them, and they couldn't come back from that, because it's you've got this justice card here, right? It's like it's almost like when you state the facts, and it's just, it's cutting through the BS, and it's just truth telling. There's nowhere for the other person to go, because you can't argue with that, with the facts, right? And that stopped. And then, yeah, it was. So it feels like that. It feels like, I don't know, somebody, you know, if they feel like they're calling out your devil, right? If they're calling out your worst parts of your nature, it's almost like a double bluff, because this person's saying, yeah, I am like that, right? And I make my shadow work for me. So what are you gonna do? It's almost like they've used their trump card on you, and because you take it, like, I don't know if they expect you to like bat it back or deny it, but you don't. You just go, yeah, that's what I'm like. So what? What are you gonna do about it, right? It's got this kind of like, it's like it feels like you've called them out on, you know, it's like I don't know, you've got this card game energy. It's like you've double bluffed them, or you've something like this. So yeah, so they trap you, right? I want to say they trap you in this web, and instead of, but what happens in this like wrapping up is you have this kind of like butterfly out of a chrysalis energy, or a snake shedding its skin energy. It's almost like you're prepared to let the outer layer go, or you're prepared to let the mask go and show your true self, right? To do this big reveal. And maybe this is the opportunity you've been waiting for. You've been waiting to say, yes, like I've been wanting to show you my final form all this time, you know? So like somebody takes off your coat, and you're wearing this glittery, you know, do you know what I mean? It's like somebody's like, I don't know, like it's like it got this kind of like tablecloth off the table reveal, or, you know, like somebody like takes off your coats, or takes off your wig perhaps, and it's like you look amazing underneath, you know, you've got like pink hair, or you've got this like sparkly dress on, and it's like, haha, you know, I was waiting for the moment to reveal this myself. Like, look how magic is, it's brilliant. And then with the Garden of Venus as well, like, look, all this pink, it's like, it's so beautiful. Rest and renewal. It's like you were just waiting for this opportunity to show everybody that you were better than you were before, is the way it's called, because you were prepared for it. So yeah. And then it comes with like, know your worth as well. Know your worth, know who you are, and be proud of that, right? So, and then like, again, Wheel of Fortune. So there's this thing about like, again, with this, like the snake coming up and out, or like the butterfly coming up. I'm seeing it as a snake because you've got this like snake here, right? And this snake here. So if you've heard of Kundalini energy, the Kundalini energy is this this snake that's coiled at the base of your spine. And as you work on your chakras and do kind of like meditation things, you start to feel the Kundalini energy rise. It can be sexual, it doesn't have to be sexual. But it's this idea of like the serpent going up your spine. So it's like I'm seeing this almost like as looking inside you. It's like this coiled snake inside you comes up and reveals itself. It's like, again, it's like if somebody felt like, I don't know if somebody's tried to SLUT, shame you, or something like that, or somebody tried to say, I don't know, it feels like an attack on your feminine. It's like an attack on your Lilith, right? If you know, like the Lilith placement. But you own it. You're like, yeah, I like sex. Everybody's supposed to like sex, something like that. Or like, you just seem to be saying like, yeah, damn right I do, something like that. It doesn't have to be sex, right? But it's like you emerge as the Empress, right? And it's this sly fox character. She's like, and like, look at how the flowers have turned from white to pink. So it's like something to do with, you maintain your purity, right? You maintain, but it's got a different meaning of purity. Because again, purity in this reading and in a lot of my readings, it doesn't mean innocent, right? It doesn't mean that kind of like childlike little girl, unaware of the world quality. This is Empress purity, and Empress purity knows the shadows of the world. She knows the darkness. She's fought the darkness to, it's like, I fought my way here to the Goblin City. She fought to get here, but she's maintained it and she's preserved her purity. And what purity means in this reading is integrity, right? With the Justice card, it's being able to maintain your integrity in a world where that's a rare thing, and that's why she's the Empress. A little girl is not going to be the Empress. A little sweet naive 2-year-old who doesn't know anything about the world is not going to be an Empress. The Empress is worldly but still good. And so you've double bluffed these people. Again, take it as it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. And again, with like the Queen of Swords here as well, like getting all this labyrinth energy. It's the power of truth, and the Queen of Swords knows this. The power of speaking the truth. It's like the truth cannot be defeated, because it's like God is in the truth, like justice in the truth, good karma's in the truth. So living your truth and speaking your truth, and again, like supported by all these, like, just, I don't know, there's some beautiful imagery going on in here, and like wisdom as well, if you think of wisdom, and then it's white, it's really gorgeous. And then I'm seeing you, because you're coming through this wily fox Empress, right? This Empress who is not some kind of Mother Mary figure or Virgin Mary type figure, but who is a real empowered woman, right? A foxy lady, and standing in her strength with standing stones. It's like, you were right to stand your ground. You were right to dig your heels in. You were right to maintain your position, to hold your position, with that Justice card there as well. And then there's something about witness. Again, like this light inside, right? It's like, God is my witness. As God is my witness, I know that I've acted with high honor. I know that I've acted with integrity. I know that I've spoken my truth. So it's like, almost like, I watched Moulin Rouge this week. So it's like, come what may, come what may. I know that when I get judged, I'm going to be judged to be righteous, kind of thing. It's like that. It's like, I've been watching like Handmaid's Tale. It's like under his eye, right? Even if people don't believe me, I know that I am speaking my truth, and I only have to answer to one person, when the day ends. I am my own witness. I believe in my own integrity. Is very, very empowered. But again, also, maybe there is something, there could be something going on with the court system, because you've got Justice cards, which can indicate, and Queen of Swords can be like a lawyer or like a legal advisor. Justice card can be courthouses and things like this, and of course you would have a witness in a courthouse. There could be something like this. I mean, the Hierophant card isn't here as well, but you could imagine like justice, it can be like civic things. So with the witness, if you were getting married, you would have a witness. Could be something like that. I don't know. It's Queen who's like, as God is my witness, I've acted with high honor. And Two of Water. So again, you're not alone here. There's other people who, maybe you have got like a witness. Maybe you are calling a witness to the stand, kind of thing. Somebody a friend who who knows, who can vouch for you. There could be something about a friend who can vouch for you, but there is this Two of Cups energy, so there is you and this other. You have be fearless and bold. So again, speak your truth. No, like plant your heels in your integrity, plant your heels in your truth, and be confident in that, right? It's like, it's almost like you know, like righteous anger. Have you ever seen anyone who gets like, yeah, you can make fun of people who are like this, but it's like when they truly believe something and when they truly believe that they're right, that kind of righteous indignation can be very, very powerful. So it's like, use that. If it's like, if you truly believe in it. Brown bear spirit in the reverse, take time out. It's like, don't sit this one out. Don't sit this one out. Don't miss this opportunity, right? Ace of Earth opportunity. Don't miss this opportunity. Don't stay at home. Don't avoid this. Don't sit this one out. You know, stand in your power. Empress, Justice card, it's very powerful. Again, if you are Virgo, Libra cusp, I feel like this will particularly affect you. And then you have trust in the magic and connectivity. It's like, you are connected to the divine. You are, again, white raven. It's something that you wouldn't believe it until you see it, right? It's something that's very rare. And I want to say your integrity is very rare. Your connection to truth and like divine truth, it's rare, which is why I think people don't trust it, right? It's like, people think, again, you carrying this energy of like too good to be true, or I was getting all these songs about believing. So you had like, just yesterday I noticed there was a pattern of songs and they all had the word believe in. So I had Believe by Cher, Unbelievable by EMF, and then there was another one as well that kept on saying like believe. So it's like, believe in the white light energy, right? Believe in the integrity of the soul, or something like that. And then it ends with this jeweled web, right? Connectivity. So it's like, if other people have been caught in this web, right? If other people have been, I don't know if like, it's a feeling of like being caught in a trap. Again, it could be something with the internet, or if maybe like a setup, or because it's like these people, these fireflies, they're all just going about their day, right? They're doing their own thing, and then it's like all of a sudden they're trapped and caught. So it's like, connect with the others who have also got caught out by this or trapped by this, because there's power in numbers, right? If you all speak with the same voice, if you all speak your truth as a collective, as a group, there's more. It's like you're taking control of the web. If you feel like the web has trapped you, but you can reach out, perhaps again, reach out to your network, reach out to your contacts. It's like you can take control of that environment. You can take control of the story because of the connectivity, right? It's like this, there is power in numbers. If this has happened to more than one person, then there's, yeah, something like that. Okay, tricky reading. It felt powerful, but again, just that like with the Empress and the Justice card and Queen of Swords, but then the Venus energy and owning it. It has the energy of perhaps, you know, like if you think of like Me Too and how victims can be, can experience gaslighting. For example, in The Handmaid's Tale, there's this scene where there's this girl called Janine. It's in one of the early episodes, and she's experienced SA. I'm not going to say it because it'll get my video hidden and kind of, yeah, like the algorithm doesn't like it. But she's experienced something terrible, and she's sharing this story, and of course in that setting, Aunt Lydia goes, well, whose fault is that? And all the handmaids start to go, it's your fault, and so victim blaming. So again, if you've experienced something where, if you don't know what gaslighting is, maybe have a look at what that is. But it is it has this feeling of like making people think it's their fault. You know, it's that energy of like, well, you know, of course he was attracted to you. You look really beautiful. It's like, what, you can't look beautiful? It's like, you're allowed to do whatever you want. If you want to look beautiful, you look beautiful. That other person, they're in control of themselves. And if they lose control of themselves, that's them, right? It's nothing that you've done. So I don't know if there's an element of that as well. So I do want to mention it because sometimes I think it's important to have difficult conversations and difficult and to call things out for what they are, you know, to say it like it is, and not to try and because a lot of the time what that kind of devil energy will do is it'll try to put a spin, maybe with the spin in the web, right? It's like somebody's spinning a story and they're trying to make something look like it's not what it is. Or, you know, when sometimes what happens online is people will attack the victim and kind of use their own words against them. I think if you look at, I don't know how you personally feel about this, but if you look at the case with Johnny Depp and I can't think of a name, which I'm embarrassed about, a very famous, right, case, like clearly both of those people did wrong. It was a toxic relationship and neither of them was a good guy. They were both the bad guys in that relationship. It was a toxic relationship. And yet one of them came out looking like a hero and everybody was like, you know, people take sides, right? And you know, everything that she said was turned against her in a very, very, what I thought was a toxic way for the population to act. I thought it was victim blaming, and you know, it's like two wrongs don't make a right. And I think it would have been nice if both of them had been responsible enough to say, yeah, we both played a part in that relationship, and you know, we were both awful, rather than making it feel like, you know, with a court case, it's like somebody has to win, right? You have to have the person who wins the court case and the person who loses the court case. And in a situation where both sides were in the wrong, I don't think a court case where it's like win or lose is healthy, because it creates this who are you going to side with mentality, when actually, again, speaking the truth, you shouldn't side with either of them. They both need to go and get therapy and get into healthy relationships. That's the truth. So do you see what I mean? It's like sometimes I think we can be conditioned to take a side, when sometimes actually looking at a situation objectively is the higher vibrational thing to do. I don't know. I don't know. Again, I don't know your situation personally, so please don't take offense at anything I've said. I don't know. But those are the things that have been coming through in your reading. So I hope this is helpful to you. Again, go out and just treat people like human beings and be compassionate. And the more of us that do that, the better the world's going to be. We don't have to always try to be calling people out or cutting people down. It's a very low vibrational way to act. It's bad karma. I hope this reading was helpful to you. You seem to have it going on though. You seem to have a plan and you seem to be pretty confident about it. So yeah, I want to say, Virgos, if that's you, just keep doing what you're doing. Again, speak your truth, live your truth, be high vibrational. If you're showing up in your reading as the Empress, then I don't think you've got anything to worry about, right? The Empress, the universe is on your side. They're going to deal with your enemies for you. Just speak your truth and let God be your witness. All right, take care. I will see you again soon. Bye, friends.